Navigating Papua New Guinea pushes heavy machinery to its absolute limits, from the corrosive coastal saltwater to the thick, unforgiving mud of the highlands. Out here, equipment is under constant attack. Corrosive sea spray eats exposed joints, abrasive dirt grinds into moving parts, and extreme heat boils standard fluids. When standard grease is subjected to these conditions, it physically breaks down. It melts under the heat or washes out in the rain, stripping the protective barrier away and leaving naked metal scraping directly against naked metal. Without lubrication, the internal temperatures of a wheel bearing spike. The friction acts like a file, physically tearing microscopic shards of steel away from the bearing and housing, splintering off into the joint and accelerating the damage. For local operators, this friction carries a heavy and immediate cost. A seized bearing means a snapped axle. For a PMV bus, a public motor vehicle used for essential local transit, a snapped axle means stalled routes, expensive replacement parts, and days of entirely lost income. Surviving this environment requires a chemical countermeasure engineered specifically for these extremes, rather than standard maintenance. That countermeasure is MBL Grease. MBL stands for metal-based lubricant, and it is a highly concentrated formula designed specifically to withstand severe environmental and mechanical stress. The primary advantage of this product is its lithium complex base. A lithium complex base is an advanced chemical soap structure that binds the lubricating oils together and prevents them from separating, even at massive temperatures. This chart shows the thermal failure points of industrial lubricants. While standard lithium-based grease typically melts and fails around 120 degrees Celsius, MBL grease remains completely stable and operational all the way up to 280 degrees Celsius. Beyond the heat resistance, the formula contains a proprietary secondary technology, microscopic copper and lead particles suspended directly within the grease itself. These suspended metal particles act as millions of tiny spherical ball bearings. As heavy suspension components slide against each other, these microscopic spheres keep the solid plates separated, rolling to eliminate direct friction. Under severe pressure, these micrometallic particles physically deform. They flatten out and are crushed into existing pits and scratches, creating a smooth, renewed sliding plane. The grease effectively armor plates the machinery at a microscopic level, actively repairing the contact surfaces while dissipating heat. Heat and pressure are only half the battle. Coastal dinghy operators and agricultural workers also have to fight total water immersion during heavy tropical rainstorms and high-tide boat launches. MBL grease is highly resistant to water washout. Even when a wheel bearing is completely submerged in the ocean, the grease maintains its film strength and repels the salt water, sealing the joint. Field data from continuous high-volume boat launching operations shows that trailers using this specific lubrication report zero bearing breakdowns over extended multi-year periods. Total immunity to water washout means agricultural and marine operations continue uninterrupted, no matter how severe the wet season gets. Many PMV and truck drivers are used to crawling under their vehicles daily to pack large amounts of cheap grease into their suspension joints, fighting a losing battle against wear. This diagram shows the drastic difference in application volume. Because of its extreme durability, operators only need to apply 1/3 the amount of MBL grease compared to standard, cheaper alternatives. This drastically extends the maintenance schedule. Machinery that once required daily lubrication now only needs attention every 3 or 4 days, and light-duty joints can go months without a fresh application. A container of specialized grease carries a higher initial purchase price than a bucket of standard lubricant, but that cost is a fraction of the price of snapped axles, seized winches, and days of lost labor waiting for replacement parts. True economic efficiency is found in the total elimination of mechanical failure and the recovery of lost working hours. Using less grease to achieve zero breakdowns fiercely protects the livelihoods of operators relying on their equipment to survive. MBL Grease is available locally through ProMass Systems PNG Limited in Waigani or through their network of independent distributors across the country. Adopting advanced lubrication technology is the smartest way to keep Papua New Guinea's critical industries moving forward.